Have you ever felt like you're standing alone for what's right? Like the world is going one way and you're going another? That's exactly where we find Elijah in 1 Kings 18. One prophet of God up against 450 prophets of Baal. But what happens next proves something powerful. Our God doesn't just exist, he answers by fire. Israel was a mess. King Ahab had led the people into deep idolatry, worshiping Baal, a so-called storm god who had no power to bring rain during a years-long drought. God had withheld the rain to get their attention. And now, after 3 years, God sends Elijah to confront Ahab. Elijah proposes a public showdown on Mount Carmel. You call on the name of your God, and I'll call on the name of the Lord. The God who answers by fire, he is God. Verse 24. This wasn't just a contest. It was a call to decision. The people were straddling the fence, half-hearted, spiritually confused. Elijah says, how long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him. Verse 21. That's not just ancient Israel, that's us. We worship on Sunday, but we chase idols on Monday. We say we trust God, but we live like he's not enough. And Elijah's question echoes today, how long will you waver? So the stage is set. Elijah lets the prophets of Baal go first. They prepare their altar, place the bull on it, and start calling on Baal. Hours go by. They shouted, danced, even slashed themselves with swords. But there was no voice. No one answered. No one paid attention. Verse 26 to 29. Elijah, with holy sarcasm, says, maybe your God is sleeping or on vacation. They cry louder, cut deeper, but nothing happens. Why? Because idols never answer. They take everything and give nothing back. The idols we serve today, money, popularity, sex, success, they promise fulfillment but leave us empty. Just like Baal, they're silent when life falls apart. They can't heal, they can't save, they can't bring rain to a dry soul. Now it's Elijah's turn, but before he prays, he does something profound. He rebuilds the altar of the Lord that had been torn down, verse 30. That altar represented relationship, covenant, worship. He places the wood, the bull. Then he soaks the altar with water. 3 times, it's drenched. Humanly impossible to catch fire. And then Elijah prays. Not long, not loud, but full of faith. Let it be known today that you are God in Israel. Answer me so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again. Verse 36 to 37. Then it happens. The fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the soil, and the water. V38. The people fall face down and cry, the Lord, he is God. God doesn't need a performance. He wants surrender. He responds not to hype, but to heart. What would it look like if you rebuilt the altar in your own life? If you stopped wavering and laid everything down? Your pride, your plans, your past? God still answers by fire when the altar is surrendered. After the fire, the false prophets are dealt with. Then Elijah climbs to the top of Mount Carmel and prays for rain. At first, there's nothing, but Elijah keeps praying 7 times. Finally, a cloud the size of a man's hand appears, and soon rain pours over the land. Maybe you're in a dry season. Maybe your soul feels like a drought. Here's the good news. God still sends the rain. But often fire comes first, burning away what doesn't belong so he can bring the blessing. So let me ask you again, how long will you waver? If the Lord is God, follow him with everything. Tear down the idols. Rebuild the altar. Pray the prayer. Trust the God who answers. He's not just a God of the past, he's the same God today. If this message moved you, share it with someone else. Let's call our generation back to the altar.